speaker is Anujan, who attained a degree in chemical engineering at Imperial College, which he found to open a vast number of doors for him and allowed him to pursue various options within engineering. Anujan, in addition to his degree, ensured he participated in various extras such as student consultancy projects and summer research placements in order to widen his horizon and explore the many options that were available to him. His keen nature did not stop with his academics, as he took part in many extracurriculars such as Lacrosse Club at his university, where he was the captain and competed annually at Lisbon, and cultural societies such as Tamil Society, which he utilised in order to network and develop his skills further, such as communication, which I'm sure he'll tell you more about. Anujan is a prime example that a degree in engineering can open many doors in numerous fields when exercised appropriately. This is evident in his role as Associate System Engineer that he's to start soon at the very well-known Cisco. Please could I invite Anujan up on stage.
Hello everyone. My name is Anujan. I'm a chemical engineering graduate from Imperial College London, and as Vidya just said, I'm just about to start a systems engineer role at Cisco. And today I'd like to talk to you about why I took chemical engineering and how it got me to where I am today. And along the way, I'll try and point out things which really helped, I think really helped get me to where I am. So taking me back to school, assuming a lot of you are like 16, doing your GCSEs, A-levels. And back then, I was really interested in maths, chemistry, physics. So I was like doing further maths, chemistry, physics for A-levels. And I was trying to find a future career path and what I should really do. I was thinking about what I should do as a degree. And at the time, I mean, even now, like global warming is like a really big thing. And at the time, I was really interested in like the renewable energy solutions that we had, and it's all about sustainability. And so one of my teachers actually recommended that I have a look at engineering, as it could be a way of just combining all those things together into one future career. And so I did a little bit of research and managed to get myself onto an Insight Week, a local engineering firm. And there I got to learn what engineering actually was and what engineers actually do, because I'm sure a lot of you are also curious about what does an engineer actually do? And basically, they just kind of solve problems, not really like a consultant, like Shanmugan just said, but in a way that they can actually build stuff and contribute. So, for example, civil engineering is one of the reasons why we have this building, and mechanical engineering, you've got cars, trains. But one discipline that really stood out to me was chemical engineering. It's really about just making these processes, and it's really how you have things like plastics, how you have energy, so you're looking at batteries, oil and gas, and it really stood out to me because it helped me combine my interest in maths and chemistry, gave me a vast, diverse range of career options, from energy solutions to pharmaceuticals. And it was thanks to that Insight Week that I was actually able to find out about chemical engineering, because I probably would have gone into medicine, like most Tamils, as Shankavi has already said. And I think you guys have already taken the first step by coming to events like these, actually learning all these different career options that are available to you. And they're actually really good opportunities and things to talk about when it comes to writing that personal statement or going to those interviews where you really have to answer that, why did you choose whatever degree you'll go on to? And that really helped me when I had to go in my interview at Imperial, where they actually asked me, so why did you choose chemical engineering? And what actually is chemical engineering? And because of what I'd done at the Inside Week and what I'd learned, I was able to just recite it just off the back of my head. So when I was actually at university, I learned a lot of interesting things, but I also learned a lot of really boring things. Like, I won't lie, the professors are really smart, but you're gonna have a range of things to learn. And I really found that my problem-solving skills already pushed the limit throughout my degree. And sometimes I felt really out of my depth. There was a lot of challenging problems and projects I had to work on. And there's a lot of things that your lecturers won't actually teach you, and you have to go out and learn yourself. But it's precisely those problem-solving skills and that self-learning ability that really makes engineering students. And it's why employers really value an engineering degree, is those things are not only useful in an engineering context, an engineering industry, but also in many other industries like finance or consulting. And during my time at university, I tried to learn about all these different job opportunities available to me. So I'll go to things like career events and talk to people at careers fairs and just try and learn about all these career options inside engineering and outside. I was fortunate enough to get on a student consultancy project run by one of the consulting groups at Imperial, and I actually got to work with a client on a market entry for AI in HR. This is quite cool because AI was quite a new thing, and getting to actually work with someone, like a real person who was actually trying to deploy a real thing was quite cool. And on top of that, I managed to get myself on research placements in my summers, and that was in the battery industry. And I got to learn a lot of cool things about where the UK is going in terms of renewable energy, what they're doing, and what could be done. And I learned from a lot of really smart people who are like leading in their fields. And I think it's been reiterated quite a lot by the previous speakers, but try and do as much of this as possible. Go to these careers fairs, get these work experiences, use your summers to get a job or an internship. Because one, they will actually help you understand what these careers are like. Because often you see, consulting, engineering, finance, medicine, on the surface, like, oh, that looks interesting. But what they actually do on a day-to-day basis might not be what you want to do in life. And so it's really important to actually go and actually experience it yourself. And you'll be surrounded by people who've been doing it for 5 to 10 years. And you can ask them all these questions as you go along. And two, it really helps you develop those skills and become, a good candidate in the future jobs that you may apply to. I also found that university isn't just a time for career prospects and academics. I found that it's a good time to actually try new things and join clubs and societies. So for me, I joined the Lacrosse club. It's a full contact team sport. And I spent most of my afternoons and evenings either training or playing matches. And when I wasn't doing that, I was going to social events, meeting new people, or rehearsing for one of the many cultural shows put on by the cultural societies. And although balancing everything wasn't easy, doing academics and having group projects and big deadlines all at the same time, I found that I managed to develop some sort of time management skill, and at the same time I was able to experience so many opportunities and great things like competing or performing in front of thousands of people, competing abroad in a tournament in Lisbon against international teams. That was pretty cool. And just meeting some amazing people and collaborating with them, all whilst completing my degree. And this is, I think the speakers are going to reiterate this a lot, so I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you can learn a lot from your extracurricular activities, and a lot of learning can be done outside the classroom. I think when it comes to applying for jobs and getting jobs, I found that although they always require a degree, or they want an engineer or someone who's done economics, I found that what employers look for in those interviews are those soft skills, those teamworking ability, or those communication skills. And yeah, you can learn them and develop them in group projects. I'm sure many of you are aware that being a captain in a team sport or playing in a team out on the pitch is a very different environment to being in the classroom. And it's all those new experiences which really help you and shape you as a person. And from my own time being captain and as well as treasurer, I got so many new leadership and management opportunities that I probably wouldn't have had if I hadn't gone and done that. And they're just great things to talk about in your interview. So rather than talking about your random group project that this person will probably already know about or probably know more about than you, you can talk about these things which would sound exciting and new, and it really helps engage your interviewer and actually make you seem like an interesting person and an actual good candidate. And I remember a time, well, not that long ago actually, a few months ago, I was applying for a certain engineering job, and the interviewer asked me, it was, tell me a time where you worked in a team to solve a difficult problem. So rather than going to this general group project, trying to work on a problem like that, I decided to talk about a match that I had, and it was quite an important match in order to win the league title. And I remember just because it was quite an important thing for me, it was very easy just to recite to her, and I could tell that she was really engaged in what I had to say. And I'm pretty sure that 99% that was the reason why I actually got the offer for that job, was because of what I'd said. Because even after, she seemed quite impressed, said so herself. So it's just those opportunities like that that really help you and actually push you further in your career. And on top of this, you'll meet some amazing people, especially at university, who will go on to do some amazing things, like these speakers. And they will really open your network to all these new opportunities you wouldn't know about previously. And so for me, actually, it was in my second year that I didn't actually know about all these research opportunities at university. There was actually a guy on my team who was a PhD student, and he told me about the things in batteries and what he was doing in the department, and actually encouraged me to go and apply to certain internships and research placements. And that's how I got into those and learned all these different skills like coding and software and machine learning. And it's because of these opportunities that I was able I've just finished university, but I have such a wealth of opportunities to choose from and different career paths to go down. And I know many people like myself who now have gone into not just engineering, but consulting, into finance, and even pursuing law, to go into a master's. And it's all because I took this more holistic approach. And I found personally that throughout my degree, I was more interested in the technology that I was surrounded by than the actual, the way that it was used. So I was exposed to so many different things, and I realized I wanted to work in an industry where it was more focused around this. And because of everything I'd learned, I was able to actually get the role at Cisco as a systems engineer, and now I'll be able to go and work on all these different things like networks, security, software, machine learning. And it's just a really cool opportunity. And because of what I've done at university and the degree I have, I'll be able to fall back on that in the end. Let's say if I lose interest or decide this might not be for me, I can always fall back onto my other interests and just find a different path. And so I'd like to conclude by saying, although an engineering degree might guarantee you a job, when combined with work experience and amazing extracurricular opportunities, it can get you very far. So thank you for listening to me, and if you have any questions, ask them now or find me in the booth later. Thank you. Yeah?
So you mentioned earlier that for certain projects, whilst you were studying at uni, that required you to use learning, knowledge that you haven't learned in your lectures.
Yeah, go on. Okay. So yeah, I don't know, Shankar, if you had this problem as well, but at Imperial, they really like to not teach you for some reason. They like to focus on their academics. And so there's a lot of things, especially in group projects, where I had to learn really important things that I would actually be used in industry. And so things like learning how to read from standards and SOPs from industry, learn to write SOPs from industry, and learning to use things like AutoCAD, a tool which a lot of engineers use to actually design things. I had to go look up tutorials myself and learn how to actually use this tool, which are actually in order to do my assessments. And it was these are very specific examples to the engineering, but I'm sure there'll be other things when you go into your whatever degree you choose to pursue, where you'll realize that there will be things that your lecturers, maybe it's just because they're bad lecturers, or it's because they want to push you. And yes, it will be difficult. It will be very, especially new things, which if you're not used to this software or used to learning how to code, they can be very difficult. But once you actually realize, okay, I have this process of learning, I'll go look at these YouTube videos, and then I'll try and do these problems, and then now I'll go do the assignment. And getting that little process down can really help in just applying it to whatever you want to learn. And it's a really useful skill I think I'll definitely use in the future, literally in the next few months as I start my job. And yeah.
So you did quite a lot of extracurriculars at uni. Is there any specific way in which you managed your time and just managed to find around the end?
So I think it's very interesting because it's very specific to the time and what you're doing. So there'll be times where, for example, if I was rehearsing for, I think, for example, Mega Mile, it's a show put on by Cisco at Imperial. if I was rehearsing for that and the show day was coming up, I'd stop going to trainings for lacrosse. I try and maybe, I wouldn't recommend it, but there's some lectures you can skip and watch online. You can try and decide which days you might watch these at home or watch these later, or assign time to go watch it and do these projects or whatever you have to do. And other times maybe I'll have like a big game coming up, so I'll go to that training and skip that, whatever I was going to do on that Monday night instead, and go to that training, go away on that away game. And it's just really, I know it's a very kind of a bad response, but it's really dependent, and you have to try and prioritize which thing at that time should you be focusing all your energy on. And sometimes you will have times where like they're very menial tasks, and you can do all of these things, maybe like half an hour do this, work on maybe managing, talking to this captain, or half an hour working on this project or doing this problem. And it's just really just finding that balance, and where you can, that you're not fully consumed by academics or not fully consumed by its extracurriculars. Because there can be, I know many people who were very consumed by their academics, and now they've come to the end of their degree and they've realized, oh, I really wish I did that, or I realize that's not as important as I made it out to be. There's been a lot of times where you feel like, oh, this project is the all end all, and reality it isn't. It's like worth like 0.01% of your entire degree, and getting the difference between an A and a B on that grade will mean nothing, right? I think this can apply in some cases to those of you doing GCSEs. I know a lot of you will feel like if I don't get this A star, it's the end. Like, I'm finished, I can't go to university, I have to go, I don't know, work at Mackey's. But it isn't the end all. If you do, I got a C in art. I nearly failed art. I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't the best at it. And now I did well in A levels, I did well at university, and really my GCSEs didn't define me at all. And so don't focus on those small things, but try and focus on the bigger picture. And it's all about that holistic learning outside the classroom. And I know I sound like a broken record, and this is going to be repeated so many times, but just there's a lot of things you can learn outside and from doing all these things. So yeah, that was a very long answer, but I hope it answered your question. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, if you have any other questions, just find me in the booth in the Q&A session. Thank you.